this is not a piece about racism. So putting that aside, why do you think, what other concerns might that reflect in people's reaction to a poll that way?
Well, I think that second question about stripping citizenship from the children of undocumented immigrants and I can't remember the other category. Illegals. I think that second question kind of speaks to the issue of whether Canadians feel we are in control of our immigration system or not. And so I think when people answer positively to that kind of question, there's this feeling that that the people who, those children, their parents came to Canada with improper intentions, and that they didn't, that they're circumventing the immigration rules.
So it's not about racism, it's about the system.
I don't think it's about racism. I think it's about Canadians like when people do things the proper way. And I think that's true of visa officers too, is that visa officers are not pro-immigrant or anti-immigrant, but they want to ensure that people apply the right way, that they go about it the correct way. And so I think when Canadians answer positively to that, they sort of see that some of those things are, people are jumping the queue, they're not sort of following the rules, they're trying to circumvent the system, and that might partly explain why sometimes the attitudes on those sorts of questions seem harsh, but I don't think it's necessarily either racist or anti-immigrant. I think it's in part the fact that there's rules and people are defined as circumventing the rules, and so you don't want to reward people for that.
And why would CIC poll on questions like these? I mean, the quotas are set. They do your job.
Well, CIC is actually a very interesting organization in the sense that it's very attuned to public opinion. So, every day they do a scan of both the print media and new media for stories about immigration that are related to them, right? So it's the daily wrap and the evening wrap, and they distribute these stories to all their employees or many of their employees. So they're very sensitive about how the public is seeing their work. But the other thing, I think, the interesting thing about CIC or IRCC,
Immigration Department.
The Immigration Department, is that it also, I think, feels that it has to play a role in maintaining the confidence of Canadians in the immigration system. And so when Canadians lose confidence in the immigration system, that's when pressures to reduce the numbers, cut back on immigration, come to the fore. And so they feel like they have to keep a pulse on how Canadians are feeling about the immigration system and to maintain public confidence in the immigration system in order for us to maintain as a society a fairly robust immigration system. Because when Canadians start to think that we're losing control of our borders, when folks arrive from overseas on, a few years ago, there were a boatload of Tamils arrived on the coast of Vancouver, and then a boat of Chinese people, and then a few years before that, a boatload of Sikhs arrived on the East Coast. And so, those sort of scenarios sort of create an image in people's minds that we're not really in control of our borders. And when that happens, public support for immigration tends to go down.